the Sacramento Freifester. And for today's video, we're going to be looking at the ever-popular Meyer square or Meyer cuts drill. This is the 4 openings drill that Meyer presents in his book, and it's a very popular one throughout the HEMA world. So this cut pattern follows a very distinctive method where Meyer is going to have us cutting across from one opening to another. This will be trained for numerous reasons, not least of which things such as flow, getting used to cutting across, and getting used to attack different angles. So for this drill, the way that it's going to work is that we'll begin in a guard. Now ultimately it doesn't matter which guard we would like to start in. For this first part, we'll go ahead and start in flute. And our first cut will come in, and I'm going to deliver it from my right to my opponent's upper left opening. And so that cut will come around and strike nice and high all the way through. Okay? Then I'm going to strike back on the opposite line, back up nice and high. And then again, up. And then finally down and through. Then the cut comes back up, through, up. Now we'll deliver a cut on the same line, up, back up, down through, and then the last portion, 1, 2, 3, 4. So with that version, we're cutting all the way through. Full cuts designed to actually cut through the opponent and deliver a wound that would actually cause quite a bit of damage. The next variation that we want to look at is cutting to long point. Now the advantage of cutting to long point is that by cutting to the middle, we're immediately ready to turn into a parry. And so we want to practice both of these. So if I were to start, once again, nice and high, we'll cut through to the long point, then we'll cut back, long point, to the long point. Now this cut between the 8th and 9th cut is always the one that causes people trouble. Just cuts on the same side, and then continues on. Okay. So that'll be 16 cut to the long point. From there, we want to start practicing additional variations on it. Not only should we be cutting this with our long edge every time, but we also want to practice being able to cut it with the short edge. This plays around a bit, and you'll find it especially easy to alternate between long edge and short edge strikes. So from our high guard, we'll cut this one to the long point. Okay? From there, we can then strike with the short edge, nice and high. Then the long edge. Then snap back around again with the short edge, long edge, short edge, long edge, short edge, long edge, short, okay? Long, short, long, short, long, short. Okay? So back and forth each and every time, varying up. And try it in each direction. Once you're feeling comfortable with that, Meyer would also like you to practice striking with the flat. Now there are numerous reasons to practice this skill. So we'll go ahead and practice striking with the outside flat, and the inside flat, and the outside flat, and the inside flat, right? And so we have our outside and inside flats that we can practice striking around all the way through for the entire pack. And it'll continue on that same set. Flat edge, outside flat is going to be the side on the outside of your palm, inside flat is the inside of your palm. So the last version of the drill that we want to look at is one where we take and we use the realization that this is not a cut along descending and rising angles drill, but rather a drill that is about attacking to the different openings. And that means that I can attack with any style of cut to each of those openings once I understand the pattern. So if I want, instead of delivering a Oberhau to the opponent's upper left, I might deliver a rising Unterhau, maybe a Zwerchhau style cut. Then deliver an Oberhau to the lower right, followed by an Oberhau to the lower right, followed by a Mittelhau to the upper opening. Okay? And so we can continue that around. My next cut might be a Mittelhau that comes and strikes to that lower opening, followed by a Mittelhau nice and high, followed by another one, followed by a low one. And you want to practice through these different variations. Every single time as you cut, remember, if I start my attack high, my next attack will be opposite and low. Then it'll be low on the same side that I began on, and finish high on the opposite side. And you're going to trace a ribbon from whichever direction you go. So if I come up, it'll come back down. That's just your pattern of openings to follow. Try this then in free play, and it's going to work very, very well for you. So have fun with Meyer Square. It's an excellent drill to practice numerous times. Get out there, train some Meyer.